I'm now going to talk a bit about the path of transformation, and to do that, well, I was going to say something about this, but I'm going to scrap that as a. I haven't got time. Oh dear. So, this is the Vajra. It's a great, really interesting symbol. So in terms of transformation, I'm going to have to say that. So I can't ignore this. But this is so crucial to Akshobya. So Akshobya is actually said to be the head of the Vajra family. So all his wisdom really arises out of this symbol. And you can see this symbol is also relates to this path of transformation. It's describing the path of transformation. So I need just to say a bit about it. So he has this at his heart. It's actually kind of... So what we're talking about is the heart of Akshobya is contained really in this image, in this symbol. So the heart in terms of transformation. So just to describe it, so at the centre of the Vajra is this ball, this circle. Now I know it's a circle and it's got an edge to it, but as I was describing earlier, actually this central ball is said to be without a boundary and without a centre. So that's that paradox really of connected to shunyata, emptiness, and I think it's also connected to non-duality, but I'm not going to go there just yet. But what you have in this central area of the symbol is this kind of core, this heart of which is mysterious. Let's leave it there. But what happens is, out of this central area, these two lotuses blossom. So out of this non-dual experience, this shunyata, this distinct, I don't want to confuse you with those, bringing those two together. So let's just say out of this central area, there are two lotuses emerge. And these lotuses is really what is a division into self and other, good and bad, wisdom and the poisons, any polarity that you can kind of come up with is what's happening in this kind of initial kind of splitting of experience. So it's kind of where judgment and kind of a path model, renunciation models kind of come out of really this splitting of experience. But then what happens out of these this kind of basic splitting is that at one end it's said, so these are called markaras, that these beings that kind of emerge out of the lotus, they're like kind of dragon creatures, and these are the heads of these dragons with these long tongues. So they emerge from either end of this, out of these lotuses, the two lotuses, the duality, and at one end of the Vajra we have what's described as the poisons, and at the other end we have the wisdoms. So that's kind of in itself quite a duality. So we could say we have samsara and nirvana as these two poles. But what is really important and crucial about this symbol is that there is this axis running through the whole length of the image, and this axis shows that wherever we are, within the poisons or within the wisdoms, they're always connected back to this kind of central area, but also they're connected through to there's a kind of complete entwining between the two ends, these two apparent poles. So what this means, what is fantastic, is that whatever our experience is, wherever we find ourselves, there is always a way back to this this richness, to this kind of bigger reality. There is no experience that is excluded from this field, or any point in these, any aspect, any dual aspect can, if we kind of look deeply into it enough, sufficiently, really meet it, will lead us back into this more kind of whole, complete state. So I think that's fantastic. What a relief. It means that whatever experience we have, whatever experience, wherever, however kind of deluded or perverse universe we find ourselves in, there's always a way back. We will never be out of connection with this potential for wholeness, really, completeness. So I think it's a really important symbol, and it connects to the element of Akshobya, which is water. So what I really like about the element of water, so it's on the slide, is actually if you think about water, these kind of droplets, it kind of moves, it eventually kind of threads its way back to a level, still place. So we have kind of these sort of droplets of experience, and if we just allow them to rest, to not try to kind of do too much with them, they'll naturally settle out. And as we know, water, when it becomes broad and still, becomes the mirror. So this kind of movement eventually becomes a deep stillness, a deep kind of reflective, really sort of radiant clarity. So again, that's kind of connected to this kind of movement, or this sort of flowing through the Vajra, is that the flowing eventually drops down into this deep, still, lucid place. So just in terms of, just to complete that little bit, so a little phrase, I can't remember where this one comes from. So the phrase is, just as the water container, when broken, does not show the reflection of the moon, the image of the Buddha does not show in broken sentient beings. So if we break our experience, if we try to split it apart, kind of separate out, kind of shear off parts of ourselves to kind of make ourselves right or good or whatever it is whatever fantasy is going, if we kind of start to break ourselves in this way, then we can't reflect the Buddha in us. So we need to be whole. We need this kind of fluid completeness to all that we are. We have to pick everything that we are into this kind of this movement of the Vajra, to allow ourselves to clearly reflect this kind of the Buddha mandala in us. So I think it's yes, it's a very important symbol to me.